The alternatives where I grew up were get a job at the factory the rest of your life, marry your high school sweetheart, settle down, or go to college. None of these things appealed to me. None of them. And I'm not saying that school didn't. I did really well in school, actually, and I did it kind of despite my dad at the time, who, God rest his soul, I love him, and we were best friends, and he was my biggest fan the last half of his life, but the first half was tough for me with him. And he was definitely skeptical, and I think he thought I was just gonna be a loser and drop out of school and not finish, and I think he was scared that the last person to carry on his family name was gonna be a complete idiot. And so I remember when he looked at me one day and said, I don't care what you do as long as you can pass school, just finish school. I ended up, playing clubs 6 nights a week in Atlanta and going back home and falling asleep and waking up 3 hours later to go to high school. Makeup running down my face because I was in a glam metal band, and I'd go to high school 3 hours later and practically be falling asleep standing up. But I graduated with an A average and moved to Hollywood the next day. So I think I was fueled by that, and I was fueled by a lot of people telling me that I couldn't do it. There was a lot of people in my neighborhood and a lot of parents against it, and I had a lot of guys that were older that had already gotten out of school and tried the rock and roll thing and tried to go to LA and original bands and came back and resorted to play in these bars I was playing covers in 6 nights a week, telling me, oh man, it's too tough out there, you'll never make it. You don't need to go out there and waste your time with it. There's 50 guys on every corner that can play guitar better than you, and just stay here in Atlanta where you can be a big fish in a little pond. And I think that just fueled me to say, fuck you, and take off and go anyway. And I just remember when I moved to LA, some of those naysayers in Atlanta were right. There was guys that could play with their dicks better than I could with my hands on every street corner my age when I moved to LA, and I was like, this is insane. These guys, where does all this crazy talent come from? Because I was the only kid that could play like that back where I came from. So they all came here. But a lot of them I noticed when I'd listen, it was like, oh, they're just copying. They're just mimicking what their solos, note for note. You take the sheet music away or you take anything out and say, like, write me a song right now. Play me a song of yours. None of them could do that. And so I kind of, light bulb went off in my head at that point, and it said, don't waste your time trying to just sit here and reinvent the wheel on guitar. Use it as a catalyst, as the conduit to writing good songs. The guitar is the ammunition for that.